All right, I said we were going to come back and look at the connectors, so let's look at them once again. Some of the connectors that I want you to be familiar with. The top left here we have RJ45. Okay, this is your standard twisted pair, or again, some people will just call it Ethernet cable connector. It looks like an oversized phone cable connector, and it is, right? Because right below it I have an RJ11. That would be your standard telephone wire connector. Okay, so if you're still using like an old dial-up modem, that's the type of connector you're going to have on there. The big difference between an RJ11 and an RJ45 is the number of wires that are able to be housed inside of that connection. The RJ45 can house the 8 wires that are needed for your twisted pair cabling that is used with, Ethernet networking. When it comes to coaxial, I mentioned the BNC. Okay, so I have a picture of that there, and it's the type of connector where actually you slide it on. I don't know if you can really see this here, but the idea is you slide it over a peg, and then you twist about, depending on the exact connector, between an eighth to a quarter turn to lock the cable in place. Whereas the F connector that you see at the bottom, in the middle there, is the type of connector you would have with your standard RG59 or RG6 cable that you'd have with your cable TV. There's a number of different types of these connectors. Some just slide right on. Some you have to, in like the one that's illustrated here, you'd slide the connector over a peg, right? Being careful to get that copper wire in the middle to go into the hole in that peg. And then you would screw it on. Okay, we're all familiar with those because those are the same types of connectors we use on our cable TV all the time. And then on the right, we have the same 3 fiber connectors that I had mentioned earlier. The only difference is this time I'm actually pointing out which one is SC, which one's ST, and which one's LC. That's what they look like, in case you were curious.